Here we go, the winner's bracket finals, Shyway. We got Aquarius CTF. This is a map I absolutely love, and honestly, you know, Lunchbox calls this the most competitive map they have in the circuit as of yet. Would you agree with him?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's your bread and butter of Halo Infinite. Everyone knows how to play this map to a T. It's, you know, straightforward, symmetrical, kind of like a truth in a sense, or sorry, midship, depending on where you come from in Halo. In a sense that you can cross up the other side right off the rip, but it's all level, so it's pretty chaotic when it gets to center map, right? There's nothing to really obstruct the view. Those BRs are deadly on this one.
Yeah, it all comes down to the VR, the thruster. We've seen Heatwave being utilized as well. We see Lucid with that Heatwave. The power up and control is very like scarce on this map, obviously, but it's all going to come down to, you know, being able to take control of that top P, being able to take control of the top car, and of course the camo when it comes up as well. This game one is going to be a big tell on how this series is going to go. But to be honest with you, I also think it'll go the distance. So yeah, I'm covering every single base because I'm a big fan of Optic and I'm a big fan of Sentinels, and I want to see a Game 7. I want to see this go the distance because obviously it'll be the most entertaining. So let's get it.
7 games of Halo, baby. Do it for the script. Do it for the story. Optic, Sentinels, head-to-head. Here we go, Aqua CTF.
Here we go. Of course, right here on your screen, you see Royal 2. And, you know, Royal 2 is that player that plays that anchor role. You're going to watch him. He's going to be at the back of his team, putting in damage into everyone that pushes through. And that's his job. As you can see right there, he gets that cleanup due to great communication. They're going to get 3 down for Optic. APG, the last one alive. And that's a free camo for Sentinels and a great start to the game.
Beautiful opening for Sentinels. That anchor play, like you said, from Royal 2. The sight lines he has to lock things down and make it easy to pull away with camo. Let's see what he does with it. Lucid already top. Or not LethuL top mid. That's going to be important for Royal 2 to set up a play. Just has to play off the team here. Oh, no.
Oh, he just got melted. I was just talking about that camo being very, very important there. Frosty's going to go down as well. Optic is going to answer back with a 4 dead. And look at this, the flag pull going through the utility as it usually does, Shyway. They've got a lock on this one.
Didn't take Optic long for them to pick him apart, find a game plan of their own. Flag halfway through. TriPPPeY denied the bottom mid. Up to APG to see if he can carry this farther. He's already in util. SnakeBite going to try to shut him down, though. Dynamo's back pocket. That'll help, but not enough. I think that flag might be done and dusted.
That's just the ability of Sentinels to come off a spawn and make sure that they're putting in that damage across map, make sure that they're rotating and overextending, and that's exactly what they did, and they did it so well. But if you watch Optic right now, they're stuck in their base, but they're able to put in so much damage across the map. They get 2 kills on Sentinels already.
Frosty just trying to stay up and find a trade. TriPPPeY with the advantage. He'll chase him down. Easy cleanup for him. Lucid with 1 as well. That'll give an opportunity to get aggressive. Looks like they're still forced to play some D, though. SnakeBite, top map. LethuL going to follow him up. Royal 2 with a kill as well. So Sentinels not letting up here early on.
Yeah, you can see how important that top P control is. You see Sentinels kind of going for that so often. Lucid, his ability to move around the map, one of the most incredible individual players in this game, period. And right here we see the very first camo for APG, but it is ripped out of his hands just like the one from Sentinels was as well.
SnakeBite with the camo eyes. You can't disguise them. Can't get away from him apparently, and the man is moving now too. Flag in hand, he'll take it halfway. Looks like the flag's been pulled the opposite side. Royal 2 going to try to ensure that that gets returned. Shut down onto TriPPPeY. Got the escort for the flag with SnakeBite. SnakeBite in position to plant it in. All we need is a re. Informal, the only one to potentially stop it, but there's no hope there. Sentinels with a chance to lock in the first flag on the board.
What a great first flag as well. They get that return so very clean. And look at the top right side of your screen. No one dead on the side of Sentinels, so no counter cap potential as Optic R2 down. Beautiful job by Sentinels to get that cap cleanly and take the lead in this game.
At top map control out of Sentinels, the coverage of camo to get it at the start and to also shut down APG with it. I think a big part of why they've been able to pull their way through this. Of course, the top map fights continue. APG looking to lock down P2. Gonna need the team to push up here.
Lucy's gonna try and play some offense here. That's LethuL down. That's a big kill from him. He's able to be kind of a nuisance on his side of the map. And the damage he's being able to output is going to be converted. Like, look at that. A big kill from Formal. That cross-shot damage from the Commando. But sneaky SnakeBite in the grass is going to make it happen with this beautiful heat wave.
Took the words right out of my mind there, Tim. I was going to say sneaky SnakeBite as well. He's made his way to back base. Look at the space he's opened up for the team as well as they do get the flag. Are respotting the split spawner here. That's Formal. Formal with a big kill to shut things down, but SnakeBite already in the DMs. Sliding in, picks up a kill. That flag, was it pulled, though? It's been pulled on the opposite side. SnakeBite forced to play back from mid-line to try to stop that flag run. You can see Royal 2 got a run of his own. Might be a bit of a standoff here, and Optic doing what they can to cover what they had. I think it's out bottom mid.
Yeah, and you talk about a standoff, but there's also a standoff for that camo up top center. These couple kills are going to be so very important. And look at that APG now. Optic Gaming have 2 camos. They've gotten 2 camos in this game. They've not both been utilized, but this one could potentially carry some value. But APG's the last one alive, and unfortunately, he misses the clamber and drops down, but he does get a trade.
All on the back of APG there. Thankfully, not just the trade. The flag was returned in the process, so at least Sentinels don't come away with one off that. But work still needs to be done for Optic. Little rinse and repeat here as they fight for top map. Formal with a kill to get things started. Still 4 up for Optic. Lucid, great positioning here.
That's that top P control. Swapped in.
You didn't check it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Halo Infinite. It's all about playing cringy. You gotta play cringy. You gotta hold those corners. That's how it works. You get those initial 2 kills, and look at the aggression from Frosty. He's gonna push into utility, get control here of their side of the base, and just be a nuisance for this Optic roster.
Might need to clip that active quote right there. Halo is all about playing cringy, by the way. That is from Tim. Either way, though, you're right, though. He checked the corner, but he didn't look deep enough, right? Like Frosty was wedged back there. He knew that they might be looking for him, and he took advantage because of it. And look at the pressure we're seeing off of it. Sentinels already in the back of the base. LethuL top map to pick up off this.
Great job by Lucid once again. You see him constantly on this top P side, and he's able to take control of this and stay alive so very often. It's just that the rest of his team has to kind of convert. They get a kill onto LethuL, but he comes off spawn already. So now they've got to get another couple kills here to open up the map for them. And I like this positioning by TriPPPeY, but unfortunately he is caught out, and that's Royal 2 with a big kill.
Just slipping out from bottom mid, wasn't ready for it. This time Formal with the high ground. Gonna give it up to try to chase down SnakeBite here. Lucid in position to clean up the kill. Some coverage for the camo. If they can get away with camo here, I think Optic with their biggest opportunity yet to actually break away with a flag, starting to put it together here.
That is 3 camos for Optic in this game. That is big for them. They're going to need this camo, like you said, to convert on this flagpole. They've got to make sure that they get more kills. Sentinels are spawning in the back of their base and in utility. You see just everyone kind of being a nuisance and staying alive is causing so much pressure. And again, SnakeBite gets another kill. This is what Sentinels does so well. They're able to stay alive. They're able to quell the push from Optic.
Wow.
And once again, Optic are 3 down. Beautiful defense out of Sentinels.
Frosty completely neutralizing Lucid's chances with that camo. He would not die. And the audacity, too. Like, how did LethuL spawn next to Frosty? He's nading him, and then LethuL spawns. It's like they're growing in the back of Fridge, and Lucid, no choice, had to back off and give up the flag. So just unreal that Sentinels can hold the defense that long.
TriPPPeY's got the heat wave in their base, though. This is very aggressive play, but you see SnakeBite. Like, the fact that SnakeBite is on all the way across the map right now, just causing that distraction, making Optic Gaming have to kind of second-guess their pull here. They're going to have to get more slays now, and SnakeBite's got this flag all the way to his fridge. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about that you only see out of Sentinels.
TriPPPeY sees the flag move and makes sure to toss this one out the window just in case. Needs the kill, not going to get it. 3 members are sent back base here. Got coverage on the flag. Frosty out front to do the damage. That flag's on the move, though. I believe they're trying to get it as far away as they can from Sentinels, and Lucid here to help shut it down. That's 2 dead. Not going to find LethuL. LethuL looking for more. Shut down. Formal with a double. He'll keep the defense.
What a beautiful play by LethuL. That is one of those low percentage plays that you don't see the bottom tier players get. That's what makes LethuL one of the best in the game, is plays like that he's not supposed to make, and he makes it. And because of that, they're able to defend this flag, but we've got a bit of a standoff here.
Optic not done. OS, camo, sorry, top mid here. Lucid roaming the entire front of the map with that single slide. Looking for SnakeBite. The wiggle's not going to be enough to stop the steady shot. The Paul, he'll put him down. Formal drops here, too. Not quite sure where that camo went, Tim, but that's going to be important in securing the flag.
Camo is very important. It's like a 3-3 right now. I've seen that heat wave in Optic Gaming's hands so very often, though. And now things have just kind of slowed down. Flag on both sides of the map. He's gonna take one kill though, and that might be it right there. But look at the trade. Beautiful job.
Two chain action there. Formal comes out on top, looking for more blood. Cleans up SnakeBite. Royal2 down for the count as well. Alleviates some pressure in the back of the base. Hopefully give Optic a chance to push up. util is the play. Does Formal go for it alone, though? Might need to wait a little bit for the team to come help him. Make sure he's got a guaranteed push on this. LethuL shifting his position to address it, but he's not ready for Formal here.
Oh, and they're not ready for those shock grenades. So very huge. It's up to SnakeBite. 3 for Sentinels. That'll be a return, and that'll be a tie game for Optic Gaming. 1-1 in game number 1. We've got a series on our hands, but look at this. They're pulling another flag.
They're looking for more. Not just the flag cap. We saw a spree, I believe, on Formal before he dropped. He's trying to get that flag out through car side. It's happening. Royal2 looking to shut it down. He doesn't get the shot in time. TriPPPeY with that rotation. He's going to make it through util. And they're forced to put KotH nades to stop it. Frosty, Royal2, they get their kills. Despite the efforts of Optic, if they don't shut this down and play defense, they might be seeing a counter.
You said the name. You said the name of the person I want to talk about right now, and that's going to be Royal2. 22 kills and only 14 deaths. He's on a tear. And that's what you need if you want to win this tournament. If you want to win this tournament starting right now, we still got another day ahead of us tomorrow. But this is a good start if you're Royal2. And a great shot once again by him, the anchor player, the damage dealer, making things happen.
This might be a long 7 games, Tim, if we get there. Under 2 minutes on the clock, by the way, approaching OT territory if we get there. Still some time to make big plays. Lucid right now playing more defensively than you're used to seeing him, and I think a big part of it due to the control out of Sentinels. Frosty picks him off.
It's crazy. Been casting all day. So very tired, but just watch a game of Optic Gaming versus Sentinels, and all of a sudden you wake up like you had a ton of caffeine. This is a big camo. He decides to pull the flag. That's going to distract, but unfortunately it's going to take him out of that camo state, and no longer is he going to be able to sneak around. They get a big kill.
Frosty just looked like he was skating around Formal, trying to find the melee. Formal wasn't having it. Looking for more here. Doesn't land a melee of his own. SnakeBite comes out with the trade. LethuL with a pickup to carry that flag. Try to take it farther here. Frosty there to help him out. This could be the final flag if Optic can't shut this down. Royal2 with a flank on the base. In the meantime, he shuts down APG. Flag up bottom mid. Lucid shutting down Royal2. Lucid needs to live. SnakeBite in position to maybe collect the flag here, but Optic trying to hold their numbers.
Yeah, it's up to SnakeBite right now. He's going to get that kill on bottom P, but unfortunately he goes down. And it looks like 36 seconds is all that remain right now, but Formal is looking to make a play right now, but he gets taken out. They spot him.
30 seconds out from OT here, Tim. One good play could close this out before we get there. One push on the base. APG down for the count. SnakeBite trying to turn 1 into 2. Lucid doesn't let him. Gonna find LethuL here as well. LethuL, steady shot from him, denies Lucid. Frosty picks him off from the window. 10 seconds to pull a flag. Trigger sudden death.
The only person in position is LethuL, and he does go down. There's not going to be anyone there in time. This will go to this overtime. What a great game number 1. We're headed into overtime. The first flag cap will win. And if Sentinels had the start they did just earlier, it's going to be scary for Optic.
Game 1 OT. You know it's a long series. The brutal reality, though, of Aquarius overtime, Tim, is if you win the opening strat, you might get a flag.
Yep.
They need to make sure they stay alive here. Lucid, Frosty coming out with kills. TriPPPeY with 1 as well. Optic with a numbers advantage as they're winning the opening. They're going to get the camo. Royal2 last up. He's about to be melted. He needs to live. TriPPPeY already with a pull in the flag, and this is the reality we're worried about here, Tim.
Yep, they got the kills necessary. We talked about it with Jolly, the timing. They've now got the camo, and this flag has already passed the halfway portion of the map. Unless we see a miracle, this flag will go in for Optic. But we've seen worse. Royal2 the last player alive, and that's going to go in. There it is. Optic Gaming gonna win game number 1.
Good little opportunity to say brick by brick, I think, Tim, on that one. That was a slow burn. Optic, facing odds that they have not faced all tournament long. Sentinels is always a bane for them, and we saw that in the form of pressure from Frosty, Royal2, SnakeBite, and LethuL as well. Some of the plays LethuL made to shut down Formal, get the double in the base to keep the flag in play. I thought multiple moments in this game, I thought Sentinels was going to take it and pull away, but when it came to OT, when it came to coordinated opening strats, I think Optic plays that better than just about anybody.
Absolutely, and you know, Alex, I love to talk about mental, right? But in this scenario, when you've got Optic and you've got Sentinels on board, mental, after losing one game, is not really a factor. They've already kind of brushed this off the shoulders like Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
They're not worried about it. They're moving on to the next one. And this is anyone's series at this point. But I've got to talk about Royal 2. An incredible job by him. He got the slays necessary. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Frosty, I'm so sorry. 7,200 damage out of the Frostmeister. Great job. This team is so solid. That game was so close, but Optic, like you said, off that very first play in overtime, took the break and made it happen.
Super even game. Just about dead even in the damage category. These boys are trading blows left and right. You know they can all hang. You know these teams are, almost undoubtedly the best teams in Halo currently. And the caliber of play we get here, Tim, is just a damn treat to witness. I expect Sentinels to come back like a wrecking ball. You brought up, who'd you bring up? Taylor Swift. Miley Cyrus. Anyway. It shows you how much I follow the pop culture. Slayer Catalyst coming up next. All I want to see is some good Halo.
Yeah, and you know what, Alex, I kind of want to talk about Slayer Catalyst because that sword not being on the map, what is your opinion on how it plays with that sword not being on the map? I feel like it plays a little bit faster, maybe a little bit better, but I know a lot of people will disagree. It's kind of a new map, so we still are learning it. But yeah, what do you think about that sword being GA'd on this map, and how do you think it plays now?
I don't know. I think it's a good thing for Recharge, definitely, with the way the map is laid out. But I saw a hot take in the chat from Ace earlier saying that Catalyst Slayer played better with the sword.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently.
Okay.
So I don't know if all the pros have made up their minds on this. Catalyst, of course, a much more open map. The sword riskier to use. In general, the sword is pretty frustrating to play against, so I understand why it's where it is at the moment.
Right.
But with it off the map, things do definitely change for this, Tim. We see more aggressive plays. We see the skewer prioritized in ways maybe it wasn't before. And the grapple, the repulsor, they come out and they do beautiful things. So I'm not complaining, Tim.
That's a very, very good point. In my opinion, this is kind of a hot take, but if you just make the sword if you make it tradable where you can trade with the sword, I think we keep it in and it's just fine. 4 swipes is not a lot, but you got to make sure that it's tradable, that you can trade with the sword. But regardless of all that, regardless of the politics, we're into game number 2. And if it's anything like that game number 1, we've got to show.
If you're Optic, you don't even want trades. You just want kills. TriPPPeY opening things up with one on the LethuL. Going to overextend because of it. Frosty looking for him. But they've lost their positioning out for the OS because of this. They might have lost the OS in the process of doubling back there. Not quite sure where it is. I do know where the grapple is. It's in the back pocket of TriPPPeY. Skewer in the hands of Formal. Optic starting things out beautifully.
Oh my word.
And executing too.
What a flick.
Jump scare.
That's like a mouse and keyboard flick right there. That was great. Formal putting in work with the skewer. And those spikes, so very important. A lot of people kind of like underestimate the spikes. They do so much damage. You're able to get people out of situations, out of little corners. And great kill by SnakeBite, but that's going to be 2 dead momentarily for Sentinels and a little bit of a lead for Optic.
Unfortunate for Formal there. I think he expected a bit more of a lunge than he got. Either way, damage not too difficult for him, especially when you got Lucid. I mean, when you got Lucid on your team, you can afford to make mistakes, right? Because Lucid just straight up doesn't miss. You know what? I want to hear what Optic sounds like. Tim, I believe we can jump into a listen-in with Optic Gaming.
L1, Matt, behind you. L1 behind you.
Watch out right here, SnakeBite.
They're just living. They're gonna live.
I'm still behind you, man. I got killed. Omni again. Roll 2.
Try to get out.
On your Joey.
I'll tell you where I spawn. I spawn. We spawn. Come back to us. Come back to us.
The outside? Okay, that's a free kill now.
He's on the ramp now. Car 2.
Look R2, Joey.
Oh, less than 20.
They're all here, guys. They're all here. Careful, Nate.
Frosty's weak as hell.
Alright, be ready to challenge.
Yeah, I'm being right here.
SnakeBite and Frosty. SnakeBite weak low.
Slayer.
2 on me, pushing me low. We need help.
Hear that? I got help.
Top,
Two there.
Take down, beat down. Roll 2's absolute low. Cuts on you, absolute.
They're all one shot.
Yeah, OS is up as well.
Sorry. Yo, get combo and live, guys. Get combo and live. Don't worry about the long range.
One car.
OS is going car right now. OS is going car. Just saw him. He's going car.
On me. He's back up, Joey. I'm looking low.
There's spikes. He's trying to get shots on from the sky. I have OS here. Above me, car 2.
Yo, spikes with OS. Spikes with OS.
Our spikes.
I got nades.
I'm dead. Our car and their car.
Two car.
I shouldn't have pushed out. That's my bad, Jay.
Yo, Brad, come to me, Pink. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I spawned here with you guys. On pink call or car hall 2 here.
I'm coming to you.
They're running P.
I'm in red.
I'm in
gonna actually rotate over to Brad. Yeah, one's already red. Two over. You
I'm getting new
You're in 20?
Above me.
Yep.
I'm trying to get to you guys. I'm going
Two
combo.
there, two above red.
Okay,
Hold on,
let
hold on.
him push out. It's
I'm
fine.
trying to bait him, man. I'm running.
I got shots on
One shot main ramp,
formal.
Trippy.
There's 30.
You're in 10.
Two.
You're in 10.
TJ, I gotta leave. I
Yeah,
gotta leave.
I'm
You guys are gonna come back.
They're gonna push.
Cheer,
Get all
we're just there.
left.
We're just there.
Skewer 5.
I'm on
Okay,
pizza.
could be on ramp.
Okay.
They're sliding
I'm
out.
up in a sec, guys.
APG, Lucid both weak.
Did you
Alright,
have
skewers
nades?
up, guys.
Nice kill.
No,
Nice
one,
kill.
one, fuck.
There's a few
Yeah,
here.
Two top car, two top car, two top car, two top car.
Careful, they have repulsor. They have repulsor. Watch your nades.
Alright.
They're getting you skewer as well. I'm gonna just stare at skewer, guys. He has
Yeah,
it,
they just got
Lucid. He has it.
Alright, what are we doing here?
Looking pizza.
I'm
Nothing
just gonna hold car side with skewer, I think.
Nothing P,
Come here.
nothing P, nothing P, nothing
I hit a guy combo.
Yeah.
I think we just go P side when they have
Yeah.
skewer.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
we push.
yeah,
Or
there's two red car, like top car. They
Yeah.
might push because they saw me leave.
yeah, that's fine.
It's fine.
I'm trying to get to
Two
you
in this
guys.
phase. Two in this phase.
I'm blocking, bro.
I'm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in blue. They're gonna
That's
try
Optic
trapping us
gaming in a
B.
nutshell.
Let's see main ramp, so. Are you walking the sun?
Yeah, we gotta run in the space. They're gonna be behind
Alright,
us.
OV in 15, guys. OV in
The main
15.
ramp formal.
Your
Formal
spikes,
dead,
your
formal
spikes,
dead.
your spikes
Heard.
trippy, your spikes trippy.
I'll see
Is
him,
it
I'll see
car
him.
Can you guys
side?
go quick? Yeah,
I
you
need
got
it.
one
One
mid.
car one, one car
One
one.
shot,
OV in
car
10.
one.
OV in 10,
One
guys.
shot, one shot on car hawk, car one. Your guys combo. He's bottom
I'll see
mid
him, I'll
side.
see him.
Okay.
OV in
Yoink
5.
side.
OV in 5, guys.
Two there,
Really
two there.
hero set.
Yeah, they repulsed above me.
I'll see top car.
Alright,
I was
OV's
gonna
up, guys.
skewer.
OV's up. They're gonna be on it.
Wow. Incredible communication out of both squads. We're able to see both sides, or hear, I'm sorry, both sides of the situation there, which is definitely a blessing because we get to see the different communication. But what is something you noticed out of the way Optic is playing, Shyway?
Well, they're just wolf packing on him, right? They're holding hands. They're coming at him like a tidal wave, like I guess once again like a green wall, just unified in their approach, picking up all the resources as they do it as well. It does look like Sentinels is finally finding some openings here as they do win their fight with Formal. But just the way that they played off each other to secure grapple side, pick up the skewer. Lucid had a couple skewer kills as well. It's part of the reason why they pulled away. And it's up to Sentinels to make big plays like LethuL just did to even the odds.
That's exactly what you need to do. You need to get those trades. It's only a 3-kill game now. You see Roll 2, of course, trying to play his life as best as possible, but you said it best. They're moving in a wolf pack, and what do you do when you have 4 players just charging from you, charging to you from the same direction? Frosty was just out in the open there in that other play, but if we see them play aggressive like this, Sentinels have to find an answer on their pushes.
Gotta love how Lucid and team kind of split from it. But like TriPPPeY, he's in a 3-1, right? He's alone. He's getting info. His team's together. Because he's got the grapple, he can afford to be more split from the team, right? Depending on the resources you have, you can kind of shift the game plan, and TriPPPeY can rejoin the squad if he needs to. Look at where SnakeBite is. SnakeBite hiding down low, waiting to disrupt the setup. They're drawing attention on the side of Sentinels. They don't know SnakeBite's there. He's coming out into the fight. Picks up a trade for it. Can Sentinels capitalize off of this, or Optic looks like they retaliate by turning around?
I've got to point out a little bit of like a tiny little detail right there from Matt, from Formal. You see that he's looking around for SnakeBite. They always track all the players. They see all the players' names and they say, okay, you know, SnakeBite's missing. Where is he? And he looks around for him because they know that one player can make such a big impact. So just great awareness by Formal.
They saw it with Frosty earlier as well. Capitalized on him when he was hiding in Royal 2. You know when you miss the first grapple, you're in trouble. That second grapple at this level of play, if you got to take an extra second to get the OS, you might be screwed. And the only counter is the combo, and the combo does not come out. Formal going to lock down SnakeBite. Formal with the shields to work with. Optic with utilities. And with info now too. Royal 2, you're in trouble.
That is incredibly unfortunate. They've got a lead by 7 and now the OS to work with, but only half of it is gone. So we're going to see how Sentinels is able to play this. That was a big miss by the skewer, but still some OS to play with, and he gets the stick. Oh, my word.
Formal just so damn clean on the map. Doesn't matter what he puts together, it seems. Nade in, skewer down. Not going to hit it this time. Sentinels trying to find some trades in a tricky situation, a tight hallway. And despite it, look at the blows back and forth. Honestly, just money for Optic if they get trades here.
That's exactly what it is, and that's all Optic want at this point in time. But you see the pace of the game on Catalyst Slayer change so very much with those dynamic spawns and just having to just watch every single spawn point on this map. You have points where it's just incredibly slow, and then you have points like that where the gameplay just explodes.
Just kind of feel each other out, right? First team to get info tries to capitalize on it. There you go. He just goes, it just sprints as quickly as he can to take advantage of that info that he has. Make it 2 dead already. Optic gonna work off this. SnakeBite LethuL other side of the map. They can get out of this, try to get the teammates to spawn on with him. LethuL's actually on spikes. He's going to be picked off. SnakeBite now alone, separated from the team. Needs to stay up.
If you've watched any Halo,
Oh
you
my!
know
Woo.
that it's possible to come back from even a deficit like this. G1 did it against Cloud9. But one of the key factors is that overshield on the bottom center of the map. And you see Lucid already setting up for that. He's got one grapple left, and he's going to utilize it. Do they get the kill on him? No. Beautiful job by Lucid.
Difference in execution right there. Lucid slides in, immediately grapples, doesn't skip a beat. He's got perfect accuracy on it. He applies it immediately. Now he's got the advantage. And you got to love to see it. When the pressure's on the line, Lucid feels none of it.
He's so, just like you said, it's just beautiful gameplay, right? It's just, Formal described him. I asked Formal, I said, how would you describe Lucid? He says, perfect. That's literally his word. He said, perfect player. And you know, you don't see perfect play out of him all the time, but you see how high his skill ceiling really is. There's a reason why he's one of the best in the world.
Oh, we're seeing a lopsided scoreline now because of it, Tim. Sentinels, all odds against them, down by 11. Make it 12. Things are stacking up, not looking pretty for them. They can try to slow things down, as they've been doing throughout the game, but every single opportunity, it just seems like Optic finds a little pull away from them. And I think they keep prioritizing equipment to do it. Like, that grapple just got picked up by Formal.
It's all the timing. You pick up that grapple, it's 1 minute. It's kind of like those Halo 1 spawns back in the day. In 1 minute, that grapple will be back up, and you need to be on top of it, because grapple, repulsor, it all plays a factor in so many kills. A 10-kill game now.
Oh!
Sentinels trying to cut the lead just by a tad, but they're going to need to do a lot of work in order to face this wall. Look at that wall inside the base. So many Optic players just waiting.
Oh. World 2 just feeling it out. Best thing he can do is try to maybe play off Frosty. It's a 3-1 right now. Sentinels, 3 members together. Frosty's on the other side of the map. Kind of risky, but he's also the most important player to give an opening to Sentinels. If this doesn't go through, Tim, this is the game. If they can somehow make a big play in this opening, which Frosty's dead. I don't know. I'm a little worried.
It's tough. They had the sense to rotate out. It's like that game sense that you just get after playing so much Halo. And Optic just has it. They rotate out of the situation. They set up for OS. They get that as well. They've got Skewer, OS, and they've only got 4 kills to win this game. Looks like Optic is looking to extend this lead 2-0 in a best of 7.
Sentinels definitely not squeaking out of this one. 48. TriPPPeY looking for the 49th here. He'll chase down SnakeBite. SnakeBite with a couple denial nades. TriPPPeY doesn't even care at this point. Man's flying like he can't lose. There's the 49th, and APG with the cleanup of 50-37 close for Game 2. It's a best of 7, Tim, but all the momentum is on the side of Optic.
I absolutely love how you said that. Charge because you can't lose. That's exactly what Optic did. An ode to the past. The golden era. I'm an old man, but that's okay. What a great game. What a great series this has been so far. But the question is, can Sentinels come back from this 2-0? Do they have it in them to, stop, not get frustrated, stay focused? This game type, obviously it's kind of a new map, so maybe Sentinels doesn't have a lot of time on it, or maybe Optic's playstyle is just too unorthodox, but we'll have to see how this next game type fares for the Sentinels.
I think just Optic did an exceptional job of controlling the grapple side of the map. The grapple side of the map, because Sword's not in play, it's just so much more important. Obviously, the grapple spawns there. The skewer spawns there as well. You got 2 plasma nades on the top to work off of. The plasma pistols nearby to pick up to counter OS. You're also in a better position to collect the OS as well. Like, it's just so stacked. And all the highlights we witnessed there were highlights with the grapple and with the skewer. Lucid and Optic can play so well off each other and a wolf pack together, but when they're separated, that player who's separated can just grapple right back to the pack or grapple to stay alive, just playing the map so efficiently, leaving limited options for Sentinels to find an answer.
I'm a little bit nervous here. Talked to Lunchbox, and he said that Live Fire is obviously Optic Gaming's best map. And we've seen that since the start of Halo Infinite when they were undefeated for so very long. We talked about it up until Raleigh, pretty much. We'll see if that's still the case. I believe, as of recent, maybe Sentinels has kind of traded with Optic in terms of maps here, but I think this is it right here. I mean, this is a big win. Of course, it's still a best of 7, but Sentinels need to start bringing the series back here. And I know they're capable of it. I know they've got different levels. They've got to pull it out.
Oh, 100% championship caliber team. They win it when it comes to land, and I can't wait to see how things go with land with the storyline that's being created here, Tim. But
right.
All that matters is the now, and Oddball, you got plenty of time to burn. You got time to figure things out. Sentinels, use the time to your advantage. They need to come back here.
Here we go. Hopping into game number 3 when the winners finals. You're witnessing it right now. Sentinels is down 0-2. They've got to answer back right now. They've got to make it happen. This is a best of 7, so they still have time. But you can't go 2 down at the start of the game. That's not a good start.
I do love the movement from Frosty to start it out. He came out so aggressively, tried to land a stick to deny them, and got back to KotH to stay alive if he needed to. But what was better was the overextension from Optic through center map to cut off Frosty on the dummy door.
Great
now
point.
TriPPPeY in position for OS. He doesn't slip away with it. OS still sitting down, ball in the hands of Optic, but Sentinels, if they... Oh, you know what? I take it back. APG, he's too swift.
Yeah, Optic has gotten, a lot of overshields, especially if you count that last game as well. And this one is going to do a little bit of the same. It's going to allow them to make plays like that. 2 down for Sentinels. All the while, the individual player, Lucid, doing everything that needs to happen, getting that ball time.
This man's just swerving, by the way. He'll slow it down for now. APG going to wait for somebody to get close and personal. TriPPPeY down for the count. Beautiful nade coming in from scoreboard there. And a shutdown from Formal to put the cherry on top of it. That's a double. Forgot the sniper was in play for a second, Tim. Formal reminded me.
He did. 4-0 to start this game for Formal. 4-0 to start this game for APG. I've got to speak on APG. The guy has grown so much from back in the day when we used to play FFAs together to being on those Halo 3 rosters in that Halo 3 Classic throwback. And now on one of the best teams in the world. And he talked about his journey. He talked about how much smarter he is now than he was. That this game is about playmaking. And right now, he's making the plays necessary, but so is Frosty on your screen as he's looking to push that advantage.
Hard to go up against Frosty, that's for sure. To lock things down, 2-kill advantage. Quick play ball at Optic to deny any form of setup from Sentinels. Sentinels with the OS, though, they could get some momentum started here. Got to watch out for Lucid. Somehow the man's on dummy door. He's cleaned up. Nice shots at a Royal 2 to drop TriPPPeY. Looking for APG as well. Not too many options. He has, but he gets the kill despite it. The ball in the hands of Sentinels, but that is an answer that can make things easier for Optic.
Yeah, he stays alive during that whole period of time, but unfortunately he dies a little bit late here, so now Optic Gaming have to wait that timer for him to come off a spawn before they can push, and all the while Sentinels are getting that time on the ball. You see LethuL down at the bottom left of your screen on the pillar side. TriPPPeY looking to make a play on him with his heat wave.
Formal dead. Formal likely given some info he needs for the flank here. APG with the kill on LethuL to even the odds. Ball positioned at B. SnakeBite, if he's in trouble, sends it off the map. Keeps it away from Optic, and you'll have to do that now. Frosty down for the count. There goes SnakeBite. Numbers advantage. Optic going to be quick to get back to ball here.
They've got the power weapons down bottom as well. They got another slay onto Royal 2. A little bit of splits here, though. LethuL is on this C side, but his teammates spawn on the A side, so he's going to be isolated. And look at Optic. They just take advantage of every single positioning error that happens. And that's what makes them such an incredible roster. The time is ticking here. They've already approached that 56-second mark.
This is worrisome for Sentinels. Royal 2, the only one to even the odds here with this sniper, and he does find the first kill. But to get those slays, 4 spawn them back A, that's a lot of time on the ball. As you can see, 68 and counting, and to play it off, as Sentinels does change hands on the setup. Need to keep hitting shots, though, does Royal 2. He's got the positioning for it.
You said it perfectly. It's up to Royal 2 at this point in time. He's got 6 shots to work with this sniper. He's got the OS up. He's playing really aggressive here. I think this just bodes to his confidence, but is it going to come back to bite him? Absolutely not. Formal and APG almost takes a shot to the head as well, but that's going to get him down to no shields, and that's going to secure Sentinels potentially this overshield once again. That's 2 overshields in a row for Sent.
Royal 2 did enough just to hit the body, but if he snapped on the head with that peak shot, Tim, I would have lost it.
Oh my word.
I would have lost it. He's still looking for more. I think he hit TriPPPeY there. Looking to clean it up. Formal going to get involved. Another at the scoreboard is Lucid. Beautiful nade at a Lucid. Denies the OS. Look at all the targets Royal 2 has to deal with. Ball time for Sentinels while he does it, but Royal 2 just trying to lock things down by his lonesome.
I hate to say it, but I think the switch has been flipped for this Sentinels roster. They're starting to look a little, of course, the caster's curse. Once again, 3 down for Sen, because I had to open my mouth.
LethuL.
But LethuL with a big kill to trade off there. If he can stay alive, this will be huge.
LethuL keeping the heat wave in play, looking for Lucid as well. Cleans him up, starting things off strong in the back at tower. APG not going to be able to rotate there. He'll take the ball to A instead. Sentinels with the numbers. They're getting aggressive on this. SnakeBite going to chase down and repulse the nade away from him. APG down for the count. Sentinels set up opportunity. Or they had one. 2 dead. Optic still fighting back.
That play from LethuL was so ginormous, though. Not only did he stay alive, that was his job. His job was to stay alive. He had heat wave, but he comes back, rechallenges, and gets a kill. Like that right there completely set up Sentinels, and now they're starting to get some ball time, but they've got to get a couple of slays, and it's going to start with APG.
Lucid gets the trade. TriPPPeY here to follow up. Going to play off of each other. Try to clean up LethuL here. LethuL down. SnakeBite. Can he find a trade? Repulsing him off. Cleans up TriPPPeY. Lucid still alive. Man's one shot. Finds the melee. It's not enough for the kill. Cleanup comes in. That's Formal working off of him. Just a food chain as they play off each other. Try to keep the advantage in the back of A here.
Beautiful kill by Formal there. They're going to start to get some ball time. LethuL almost makes the play again. That would have been absolutely phenomenal, especially with that overshield coming up. Well, look at Sen. They're in position right now to get this OS as it comes up. They decide to be aggressive as 2 are down for Optic. And Optic looking to rotate this ball and play it off the map.
Good work at APG. He was dead to rights there. Got the ball out of play. Unfortunately, they're down by numbers, though. OS was up, I believe. Not sure where it went. Formal and Optic sitting by the door. Frosty coming in with a flank. It's about to be a pinch from Sentinels. Frosty needs to hit shots. Thankfully, they're already down shields. That's 2 dead. Living up here, snipe in hand. Ball in the hands of Sentinels. Sentinels looking to lock out the first round with this. And Frosty looking to put the icing on this one.
Oh, my word. Frosty with a sniper in hand means entertainment for everyone. And he's making it happen right now. I think he hits the body right there on APG. But there it is. 2 seconds, 1 second. Look at that. Sentinels are going to take round number 1. And that's a huge round for them as they were down for a while there.
Sentinels with their only win in this series so far, Tim. Of course, it's a round and not a game. But that hopefully is the inspiration they need to start to bounce back in this. And this opening strat will set the momentum for round 2. And the momentum for the series following. So you'd like to see them win it.
Shyway, I might be crazy, but I just have this sense, after watching Halo for 20 years, this sense of when a team flips the switch. And I said it earlier. I said it earlier that they flipped the switch. That is Sentinels, and I really do feel like that's the case. They're taking control of the beginning of this game, but potentially, I mean, Optic have to answer back with this overshield.
It's your Sentinel sense.
Right,
anyway,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. They definitely shifted some things, for sure. Looking more proactive, dictating the pace of play here. Coming out on top when it comes to slays as well. Slight advantage there. It is pretty damn close when you look at the scoreboard, though.
For the US.
APG, he's sliding in for the OS. He actually, we didn't get it. I like the attempt. Honestly, very difficult slide to hit in that situation. He needed perfect execution, but even that wasn't enough. And now SnakeBite's not missing.
The general doing what he needs to do. The perfect comes out. He's got overshield to work with, and he's finding Lucid. Lucid playing his life so well there. That's going to delay so very long. And look at the overshield. It is now gone because of that play from Lucid. But regardless, 3 down for Optic Gaming. And a sniper in the hands of Royal2. Things are getting interesting.
My man searching for spawners. Ness is the first pick. Oh, back to the spawn screen you go, Lucid. Who's next? APG, you want some? Oh, no. Royal2 looking for more blood here. Going to just stay alive. Look at the rotation with the ball. Sentinels being elusive. You're crazy. Tries to close the distance with a slide, and that's a YOLO if I ever seen it.
Now, it's plays like that. If you ever see a pro make that play, it's because the confidence is through the roof. And if he hits that shot, that's literally going to send momentum through for his team. So I like the attempt. Frosty still ends up with the sniper rifle in hands anyway. And the heat wave. Oh, boy. So we'll see what he's able to do with it.
Land shots for now. 2 already dead. He's down. Numbers dead to rights. I think that OS is down by the pedestal. It is. Not picked up yet. Royal2 with a double. He doesn't have numbers, though. Going to try to flank. Get some coverage. Might be too late to get to it, though. Formal on top. Yep, he's got the OS. Sticks in. Make it 2. The best denial you could have on the OS right there from Royal2.
What an incredible play by Royal2. Another OS goes to the wayside, and Sentinels with a 40-8 lead in this second round. They've already been up. They're up by 1 round right now in this oddball game. If they win this one, they will finally put a mark on the series, and a mark is all that Sentinels needs.
Gotta be careful with Sentinels when they catch fire, Tim. We've seen it all too often. Too many times have they caught fire and come back and never let go. And Lucid, who knows it, needs to shut them down now. Combo in hand. Look at that little tip for you. You can hit skill jumps and hold the noob combo at the same time. What a double.
Man, I've been trying to hit that skill jump for months. It's just never happening. But Lucid, that's why he's there and I'm here. Beautiful plays by him. Wow, I got blinded there for a moment, but Formal with a sniper in hand. He's been a little quiet today. He's 17 and 16, but we haven't seen the flash that we normally see out of him. So I'd like to stay on his screen for just a bit here and see what he's going to be able to do.
Oh, we have no reason to go anywhere else as long as this man has these weapons. Trying to get the bank shot with the heat wave, looking for Frosty, deletes the shields, gonna keep banking it. Not enough. SnakeBite gets involved, cleans them up. Weapons down bottom mid, Sentinels in position for ball roll 2. Escort with it, looking for spawners. That's Lucid. See how his reticle's placed? How early he's ready for that fight? Not much Optic can do to suppress when he's like that.
I talked to you about this earlier, and I hate to bring it. I don't want to start a mouse and keyboard and controller debate, but this man plays the anchor role so incredibly well. He's really good on M&K already. So potentially, maybe one day, I'm sorry, I'm a big fan of M&K. Maybe one day we get some fixes. He could be an even better player than he already is. 18 to 15 to start this game already, almost in double-digit assists as well. But that's going to be 2 down for Sentinels here. They've got this lead to work with. They've just got to play their lives here. LethuL and World 2 have to stay alive.
My heart goes out to you, Tim, and the M&K players. But at the moment, Halo is a controller game, it seems.
Yes,
and,
sir, it is.
These boys, they diffy with it. They just don't miss. It's hard to keep up regardless of what you're playing on. You know, whether it's a controller, a mouse, or a Guitar Hero. What is it? Guitar Hero, guitar. It doesn't matter. That ball is going out to A in the meantime.
I saw someone playing Warzone on a flute the other day. I was like, oh my God.
I saw that too. That was insane. That was insane.
Regardless, though, Sentinels has maintained this lead. And again, this is a very big game for them. I said that they flipped the switch. I hope they don't prove me wrong. Frosty's going to get 2 on the board. That's 3 dead. Lucid's the last player alive. And look where he's positioned right now. Alex, this is such an important position. He's able to put the damage in, get the kills, but a great trade by SnakeBite.
Gotta love how Lucid takes full advantage of the head glitch to find the kill in that situation. Difficulty, though, the difficulty, is that they can't get the ball. They can't get through Sen. They can't get through the defense that World 2's been putting down. Little alley-oop with the ball, apparently, too. It's tossed to him. He sends it out to a play position. Optic locking down Slays. They stop the ball before it gets off the map.
Lucid at OS and the sniper coming up. These are 2 very important spawns here in about 20 seconds. You're going to see the pace of the game slowed down tremendously. But when they find an opening, they're going to take that opening. And oh my goodness, again, the sneaky player on a SnakeBite gets the trade there. 5 seconds on that overshield, and it looks like Optic has the Slays to potentially get control of that.
Formal with the equalizer, though. Coming up through key door. OS about to spawn. Formal in the best position. Frosty down it. Perfect, Nate. My God. Banks it, cleans up Formal in half a second. Lucid looking for blood here. He gets the kill in position for the OS. Lucid gonna get it last second. Look at that clock, though. They got, oh my God, the remote detonation as well. Lucid not worried about time. He's just making plays.
And he's getting kills. He's getting the kills necessary. Frosty's the only player alive, but he's just being a nuisance top center, and he's still not dead. They finally get him down. They've got drop ball to work with. The ball's been picked up. This could potentially be the lock that Optic need. They've got to find this tower setup, and they've got to make sure they get the Slays on the Sentinels, but TriPPPeY's already dead, and Sentinels are going to try to take advantage of that.
Optic putting it all together right here. One last stand. 26 seconds on the board. Ball played. 63 to 48 in one setup. Optic can bring this back, but the timer is against them. They got to be perfect off of this. Frosty going to rotate ball. SnakeBite with him. Set up in lock on tower. All of Optic starting with TriPPPeY. Needs to break through, and he's already down for the count. Double for Frosty.
That double's huge. That closes this out, I believe. 6 seconds left on the board. They put the ball in a position where Optic cannot get it. Down at the bottom of the map. And look at that. We've now got a series on our hands, folks. Sentinels put 1 on the board. It is now 2-1 in favor of Optic Gaming, but the momentum cannot be ignored. Sentinels looking like a different team than that first game.
You said it well, Tim. You can't ignore the confidence coming off of that win. It wasn't just a one game. They won both rounds back-to-back, a bit of a shutout in some regards. Of course, we saw some contention out of Optic, but Sentinels looking pretty different in Game 3. Tim, you had teed up this game by mentioning that Live Fire is Optic's best map as well.
Yeah.
So there's just a little bit more, I think, to add to the potential created there in this series.
The intangibles. Sentinels is a team that no matter how much they're down in a series, I always make sure that I don't count them out. Because there's never a situation where Sentinels is out of a game. SnakeBite talked about this on his stream. The communication, being able to just stand there by your teammates, lifting them up, being a positive voice when things are looking rough. Just saying something as simple as, we still got this series, we still got this game, is huge. And that's what SnakeBite brings to the table. So they were able to kind of utilize that. Of course, some insane plays as well. Some pop-offs from Frosty and LethuL. All of that put together gives you success, and that's exactly what Sentinels just got.
Definitely got to look to LethuL on some of those plays. I mean, earlier with the snipe, when he cleaned up 2 back-to-back, just the execution. Here he is again. My God, finding head level immediately there. And the denial on the OS. This was a massive play, too. LethuL, the best thing he could have done. He slides in, grabs nades, right? He's getting right up close and personal. Had such a limited timing window to make that happen. He did it. Beautiful play to Lucid to answer. And, we saw plenty of moments of brilliance out of Optic, but ultimately Sentinels controlled the pace of that one.
Yeah, and you said that. You said it right. Each play plays a factor in the game, and you just kind of have like a balance, like, a pendulum, so to speak, where the game is swinging. And just those individual plays that, LethuL was able to make, the ones that Lucid was able to make to kind of stagger spawns. Just look at this damage, though. This is what I love to see right here. Let me tell you something. On the side of Sentinels, okay, I know Optic is incredible, but you got Lucid who's doing 7,900 damage. But look at the side of Sentinels. Everyone's so very even in terms of damage dealt. I love to see that everyone's putting in that same damage, able to kind of be a presence on the map, and also the damage taken as well from them. Like, it's just great to see that everyone's kind of even on this roster. But we've got to look to game number 4, and it's going to be Recharge, King of the Hill. And if you guys remember, at Kansas City, what happened? It's my favorite play in the world. Like, I talk about it very often. I love that play so much. But yeah, we saw what happened. So I think that the big thing here is just don't let LethuL touch that shock rifle. But then you got to worry about everyone else. But regardless, very interesting match.
Technically speaking, that you're talking about Formal getting checked when he had the sword against LethuL on the bat ledge. He headshotted him mid-lunge. That can never happen again unless the GA changes, or you know what I mean?
True. Yes, that's true.
Technically speaking, Formal cannot be checked like that again. Does that mean that Sentinels cannot win this? I'm not sure. Tim, everything's out of whack. That's the beauty of this series. Is I think now more than ever, we don't know who the best team is. We're gonna find out.
There's so many things. There's so many aspects, so many changes. The drop weapon. We're seeing players like Lucid, though. Like, he was, I believe there was one play where he switched weapon to clean up a kill, and it was so fast. I was like, oh, that's as fast as I drop weapon. So they've obviously kind of prepared for that. They've obviously prepared for that sort of, all the GAs that have happened. It's gonna come down to land at the end of the day. But look at that double kill by SnakeBite, starting things off on the right foot.
Yeah, a little cluster luck to kick off the game confidently. LethuL, little spin, reversal, sticky, gets out of the fight and into a new one. I guess, what's the phrase? Out the pan into the fry. Anyway, you get the point. That's, you're never safe in Halo, are you?
Not when you have this Sentinels roster on the other side. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be biased. I think Optic Gaming is obviously one of the best teams in the league, but like I said, there comes a point where you can kind of see it in Sentinels playstyle when they flip that switch, and I think they've done it here. But we'll see. This game will tell. I mean, Formal's already 3-0 to start this game. Ends up going, every time I say something, he ends up going down. He's 3-1 now, but regardless, the slay's in the favor of Sentinels at the moment.
Oh, trippy. What an answer. Nade comes down from SnakeBite. You gotta love to see it. SnakeBite knows that there's nothing else he can do but melee nade in that situation. Uncharacteristic nade from Lucid right there, but characteristic. Is the opposite of uncharacteristic characteristic?
I believe so,
Shots
yeah.
From either way, expected to see that accuracy as he breaks into the hill. They got to control C-side at this point, Tim, to get a lock, get the sightlines on this hill, keep Sentinels out of here, get them spawning back in goal.
Yeah, you see a lot of teams kind of on this first hill. It's very scrappy, right? But that second hill is where we really have to look. we're going to see a full solid setup. And of course, these are the two best teams in the world, so there will definitely be breaks there. But APG opens up the entire map with a triple kill.
And create some space for the team, and it looks like the opposing team now spawning on A side. All spawned together. Optic, guaranteed, aware of it. One split, Snake, unless he was alive the whole time, right? He might have been living back C. Only 3 died there. SnakeBite dead now for sure. Lucid cleaned him up. Saw it in the feed, and the tool of destruction, the shock.
Sets up the headshot, but LethuL with a big kill. That's 3 dead for Optic. But you haven't seen Sentinels get in the hill just yet. They finally do get in a little bit later than I would have wanted, but looks like all of Optic is off a spawn here, and they're all going to spawn on that A side. And look at the anchor once again on the top of glass, just putting in so much damage to prevent them from pushing. But look who got through the top right of your screen.
We're kind of playing Slayer right now.
Essentially.
2 minutes have gone by in the 5-minute total here, and that first hill has not been capped yet. That makes things pretty dicey as we get down to the wire. The team that pulls away with a capture can alleviate some incredible, pressure you get from the timer to be in the hill, and they can start to play Slayer if they got the points to work with. Of course, all of that has yet to be decided. They got to get their butts in the hill.
You got to play for these slays. Look at that. The grapple comes in to trade or to get the kill onto SnakeBite. That's going to be 2 dead once again for Sentinels, but keeping TriPPPeY down to no shields here is very important, as that means no one's really able to get in the hill. And like you said, it's pretty much just Slayer. There's only 3 minutes left in the game. I believe this game may be decided on this hill and the next one, to be honest.
That's why LethuL positioning up on top attic. That's beautiful that he got the angle to cross out and deny Lucid. Lucid, if he was allowed to live there longer, Optic would have held their setup. Now LethuL is making big plays in long haul. Shuts down Formal. Frosty with the shock. The issue here is they're not in position to get to hill. They got to do that and flip the map first, or they can find themselves losing a point here, Tim. Jeez. Getting tongue-tied.
It's an intense match.
It's too crazy.
Frosty on the cross again. You constantly see someone in that position on the map, right? There's always someone from Sentinels on that cross making sure to put damage in. It looks like Sentinels finally getting the hill. Optic have a little bit of a lead on this first hill, but again, the hill that matters the most is obviously that second one, because you can really kind of turn the tide. That second one's going to be much quicker than this hill is. And sometimes you tend to see some teams set up early. As you can see right now, Optic is kind of setting up early for this next hill, but they're going to pay for it, because Frosty got that triple and a killing spree as well. All 4 down for Optic Gaming.
Frosty with the 10,000 IQ plays. Beautiful nades to get it started. And then the placement, top attic, he cleans things up. And that's it for hill number 1. If Frosty plays like this, there's no hope for anyone else.
Constantly, Frosty is forgotten. Constantly, he's not in the best player in the world conversation. And every time he says, wake up, people. 7-6 to start this game, though. Not an incredible stat line. But Royal 2, 11-6. Again, it has to do with the playmaking. It's not all about those stats. And like I said, Sentinels have a full lock on this hill. There is no way Optic Gaming's getting any time.
Just look how he plays the positioning there, right? Jiggle peeking with each shot, keeping himself alive, making himself so damn difficult to shoot back. Even if he's not hitting headshots, he's doing so much damage, still finding kills. Limiting the options of Optic. Lucid trying to switch things around, create an advantage of his own. He wasn't fast enough. Those Sentinels, they locked down 2 hills back-to-back, completely shutting out Optic first half of the game.
That was a great play by Lucid, though. He hid there, knowing the rotation was going to go through from C-plat to A. He got 1 kill, almost got the second one. There was no cross on the second one, but regardless, great heads-up play, 200 IQ by Lucid in that situation.
The one saving grace for Optic here is this hill is a little easier to lock down. You can see why. A is quite the stronghold in itself, and the positioning of Lucid, the cross that he has to help ensure his team can stay on the defense here. They're getting this one for free, right? Optic pulling this one out with perfect play. They're going to even out the odds a little bit. Now TriPPPeY has the shock to make plays with.
It comes down to that second hill and that third hill just being so much easier to kind of capture. Of course, now we're in the bottom pipes, and this one's a little bit more difficult, but you can kind of hold across here. All 4 dead for Sentinels. Optic Gaming starting to find some momentum, and they find the spawns out of Royal 2. He's going to come off spawn and get shot in the head.
TriPPPeY saying something like, yeah, you might be able to do it, but I can do this better. Here you go, Frosty. Let me just clean you up real quick. 2 can play at that game. TriPPPeY, this man, he does not miss when he gets going.
The shock is so incredibly strong. It's the strongest weapon, obviously, on this map, but it's essentially, literally, the game is made by this shock rifle. Whoever can hit shots, whoever can pop off and get into a flow state with his shock rifle will come out on top. And look at that. Just like that, with a snap of a finger, Optic Gaming has tied this up 2-2 in this King of the Hill game.
You couldn't have asked for a more perfectly executed answer out of Optic just to bring things back to even. Now, one thing Optic didn't prepare is the setup for this hill. SnakeBite, LethuL in position. TriPPPeY trying to break through. He's not going to make it happen, though. As long as they control A side of the map, it's going to be very difficult to break into the Stronghold. And Formal, that kill is huge for getting things started, but he's shut down.
You said it perfectly. That A side is so important on this hill. The A spawns are so incredibly heavy, which means they're weighted heavily in this game type. So if you take control of A, you essentially take control of this Needle Hill as well. And LethuL, with a big kill there, is going to try and stay alive, but look how much they're prioritizing him in this situation.
Yep, definitely trying to send their numbers over to LethuL, overwhelm him, get the kill. Frosty's dead as well. LethuL, I think, he's still surviving, somehow living on A side. Formal, not worried about it. There you go, down for the count, multiple dead. Optic, shift the tides here, recreate the setup of their own. Now it's their turn to try to lock things down and stay alive. Oh, beautiful.
That remote detonation is going to set things a little bit apart, but that camo's also coming up. And Frosty goes down at a bad time right now. 2 down for Sentinels. Optic have numbers, and they have the camo as well. Lucid just dropped down for it.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't go down either. This is not good for Sentinels right now.
Sentinels definitely in trouble on this hill. And if they don't get this one, they're fighting the timer as well. 136 on the board here. Still some time to make an impact, but they are definitely at odds if they don't break in. Lucid with the camo with beautiful positioning as well. He's coming right in with the perfect time. Frosty out of the picture. SnakeBite dead as well. Sentinels have one more opportunity to break through this, or they're screwed.
Yeah, LethuL lost his shields there, so he wasn't able to trade on that second kill, but look who's prepared. Look who's ready to just be a nuisance. It's going to be Lucid, but unfortunately now he's pinched with those C-plat spawns. And another big kill by Formal. It gets traded out, but all the while, Optic 75% of the way through on this hill.
Look at TriPPPeY just playing patient. High ground, back of A. Gonna leave a cross. Make it so tough to break into hill. There TriPPPeY comes in to delete SnakeBite. Trades coming through his Sentinels. Fight tooth and nail to try to secure the hill. Save it before it's captured. LethuL needs to live. He's lost his teammates. Got SnakeBite to play off of. As long as he stays alive, they might have a shot in the last second to run here.
Yeah, LethuL, I don't think he's going to get there in time. He's going to have to slide in. They're not going to throw away their lives, and they're going to stay alive for this next one, which is, again, the scrappy hill on the bottom center, which is unfortunate for Sentinels in this position. But kind of want to go over something real quick. LethuL, he was sitting on that glass side trying to be the anchor. But being on glass, it's so difficult to get any sort of line of sight on that bottom hill, especially if they're pushing through the tower or whatever on the bottom side.
Right. And what's more unfortunate, though, Tim, this hill was, it was like 2 minutes into the game, and the hill was still not captured to start the game. This is a very difficult hill to cap. There's less than a minute to go here. Optic only need one hill, but they also only need to get kills to keep Sentinels out of it. And knowing that, they can just play Slayer. It's an uphill battle. I guess a downhill, uphill battle for Sentinels. They got to get down there and do it quick.
Yeah, 40 seconds is all that remains, and Optic know they're in the lead, of course. That camo could tie the knot on this present. And it's not going to be a present coming for Sentinels. It will be one for Optic Gaming. And like you said, all they need to do at this point is slay it out, and they're doing just that. Sentinels go 2 down.
Frosty needs to get in the back of C and somehow retake the map from behind, and that's a lot of work to do. Already killed Lucid to start, gonna bob out of the fight. Hopefully play off the team. Sentinels in the hill, it'll freeze the timer. That timer has been ticking, Tim, 17 seconds. They gotta play perfect Halo, completely shut this hill out, shut down APG and Optic if they want a chance.
It's gonna fall on LethuL on this cross shot. He jumps to get a couple shots on the board. The trade comes out. That's 3 down. They get Lucid as well, so that's gonna be huge, but it'll only be a few ticks. They've got to pay attention to those A spawns, and I believe they are ready for them, but look at the spawn on the pipes. I believe someone did split.
Oh, this is brutal. The crossfire opportunity that Optic has, they don't have to commit to the hill. They just got to kill him.
Yeah.
They've got to force themselves in a bottom mid where they have no cover. Just get out and bait and switch with each other, but there's 4 seconds on the clock. It's not going to be enough. Sentinels aren't going to make it. Optic, in our best of 7 series, they're now up 3-1.
Wow. An incredible play there at the end as well. I mean, there was a situation where, unfortunately, the timing was a bit off, and Sentinels pushed a little too aggressively on that A spawn, and because of that, Optic did get that split spawn on, like you said, the crossfire on glass, so it just made things really difficult. Sentinels were not in a position, unfortunately, to get that hill, and kind of just momentum spiraled out of control. And a 3-1 lead is not what you want to see if you're Sentinels at this point in time, but like I'd said before, I never count this team out until the series is over.
At the same time, you got to love the bounce-back potential out of Optic, because for a second, we were doubting him. I mean, Frosty landed one of the most beautiful triple kills we've seen all tournament, Tim. They secured the first 2 hills. Sentinels were looking so confident, and yeah, I mean, you look at these plays out of TriPPPeY, my bad. LethuL made a big play earlier, too, but TriPPPeY answered in glorious fashion. It was just Optic had this ability to not get shaken by the first 2 caps, to immediately set up an A, lock that one down, rotate over to, bottom C in the hallway, and just perfectly shut out 2 hills back-to-back to reset things as if Sentinels never had an advantage to begin with.
Yeah, and that's tough, right? Because, like, that advantage is huge, especially when you're kind of, taking away the time from that beginning hill, when you're just kind of, like, slaying and there's a lot of scrappiness. That time kind of counts down in that beginning hill. You think you're kind of safe when you have 2 hills, but they got them so very fast, and we're able to kind of ride off that momentum. Taking a look at the stat sheet here once again, of course, Lucid, top damage. Pretty much every single game you'll see that. He's able to put so much damage in, and his slay power is just absolutely incredible. And again, it just comes down to, those 2 hills in a row. They just maybe, they weren't prepared for the aggression. Of course, that pipe, they were stuck in pipes where World 2 was no shields, couldn't really make a play.
Sure.
Optic's just a really good roster. Apparently, they come out on top of this one, but we got Slayer Streets next. And a chance for Sentinels to answer back.
Optic just so well coordinated. I think they play off of each other better than just about any team in the league, Tim. And I think some of the positioning we saw in those hills to deny Sentinels was a perfect answer to that. Streets, very different, though. Close quarters, very fast-paced map. The snowball on this map is pretty difficult to counter. If things get going off the opening strat, you pick up those rockets, the shotgun, you're on top of spawns. We could see a lopsided scoreline in about 2 minutes. Tim, it can get rough real quick. So if we want this series to continue, Sentinels needs to be the one to win the opening strat here, or you better start praying, because Optic, they don't let up.
Yeah, I mean, Optic is playing on all cylinders right now as well, and Sentinels is going to have to get to that next level now to kind of match them. I feel like Sentinels is playing really well, and they kind of showcased that, of course, in that game number 3, but we've got to kind of see a new level here, and it all comes down to power up control. Like you said, this map is so very small, and I will continually repeat myself and say it time and time again. Those rockets are such a big factor, and so is that stalker, and pretty much everything in the sandbox here. You've got to make sure you utilize that. And one player I'm going to highlight on Optic that's going to be a problem for Sentinels is going to be Lucid. He's pretty much mastered, by week 2, has mastered the sandbox on this map, has mastered every single weapon that can be utilized on this map. We'll see if he's able to utilize that to get this win and close out this series.
Man is a problem for everyone, for sure. And so is Frosty. Trying to play it patient off the rip, but APG, a shutdown to start. That gives APG perfect positioning here, too, on B-Rail. The cross to shut down Royal 2. Optic coming out on top with positioning and numbers can get them to rockets. SnakeBite and Frosty got kills, though. APG going to bust into back C. Rockets picked up by SnakeBite. Despite the opening wins there, Sentinels, they come out on top with the weapons.
Yeah, that was really good. They got staggered spawns. They were able to kind of push those, and Sentinels were able to take advantage. These rockets are going to be huge, but the kill on APG will be even bigger, and there it is. SnakeBite with another kill. He had the Bulldog as well, which can't be said how important that weapon is. But look at the man I talked about on your screen with the stalker.
Oh, Sentinels need to keep Optic staggered and do it quickly, unless you... Oh, you just can't stop Lucid, though. Sentinels have perfect positioning, 2-2 split on the map to pinch Optic, and what does Lucid do? Just beams him. My God.
Stalker looks so good in his hands. It's going to be a big factor. It's going to be the X factor, I think. But another person is going to be Frosty on your screen. He's got the Bulldog. And as Tony says, let's see if he can make it bark.
I need to see a lot of that. Frosty just needs to stay alive to start. SnakeBite, LethuL on the right-hand side to play off of. He is largely alone in the back of C. APG with a kill on the LethuL, though. Got the Stalker, been trading hands with it. That top map control going to be so important for Optic in dictating the pace of this one. Sentinels don't want to give up positioning and don't want to give up lives, especially with the rockets about to pop.
World 2 has to live here, and he does just that. It's going to be a 4-4 on the map. LethuL Pushing in to help. World 2's got his shields back, so at 2v2, Formal's gonna have to back off. But look at that. Lucid pops in. Grants himself cover from the other player inside of B, and now LethuL's in trouble as well. And those rockets coming up. This is not good timing if you're Sentinels.
Only one to break through there is SnakeBite, I believe. SnakeBite World 2 still alive. That's a big win for him, but they don't get the rockets for it. Lucid has them. They got top map. They got patience. Sentinels will respect the rocket pickup. They're going to try to out-rotate. But Lucid, as long as he... Oh,
my
he's
gosh.
so smart. Somebody called it. They tagged it out. Lucid just goes for it.
What a beautiful... I love the pinging system. It's so underutilized, and right there is a big example of that kill making such an impact, and it really could tell the story at the end of this game when we're in a close fight. Lucid again with another conversion, 10-2 to start this game off.
I didn't even look at the board, Tim, so thank you for making me aware. Apparently the man is on a train. Got Formal to play off of. TriPPPeY gets the kill with the Stalker. Lucid going to replace the Rockets with a Sentinel. Got to watch out for Shoddy. They'll get tagged in the back, though, too. SnakeBite World 2 tag team to take him out. And despite the lead for Optic is not too large, they can stabilize things if they give Formal trouble.
Formal's arch nemesis World 2 ends up going down at the very end there, but a 5-kill lead for Optic. With all this damage being done from Lucid, Sentinels are still keeping it fairly close. That's now within 3. LethuL pop it off.
That was absolutely massive from LethuL. LethuL, he had no business taking that double. He got a Shoddy for it, too. He gave Sentinel space on the map to maybe bounce back here. SnakeBite with a kill on TriPPPeY. Numbers advantage. Artillery advantage as well. They could turn things around.
11-3 now for Lucid. Things, of course, slowing down. Those rockets up in 15 seconds. APG gets the call that there are weak players onto purple. He takes the 1v2, but now getting cross-shot. He's got some help. Look at that. The conversion from Optic Gaming, being able to put themselves in a position to clean up those kills. But it's also Sentinels pushing in twos.
It's all coming down to Rockets, Tim. Lucid. Oh, Lucid with the flank. Picks up SnakeBite. He'll open things up. Rockets, they got collected. I think Sentinels has them. LethuL, BR kill. Where are the Rockets? Someone in Sentinels, I believe, picked them up. Either way, the positioning from Frosty going to shut down Lucid. Sentinels looking to aggress off this.
From watching World 2, I think he's one of the best commando players in the game. And maybe I'll be proven wrong right here, but instead he picks up the Rockets. I believe that was Combat Evolved up there.
They must have been.
That's so sick. They get the Rockets on the top C. Someone's been watching Neighbors clips, and they get another kill potentially. No, it's not going to turn into 1, but only a 3-kill game.
This is pretty scary, Tim. TriPPPeY holding the corner, and I think World 2's aware of it. He must know. Oh, no! Not like this! Not like this!
My word. 1 go down.
Oh, no. What does that mean?
2 go down. APG. Look at the confidence out of him to just peek that. He just consistently keeps peeking with no shields, and he's putting damage into everybody. 3 down for Optic Gaming. Formal, the last man alive. Having a very rough start to the game. 3-7 thus far, but many assists to work with, and it looks like Sentinels starting to heat up at the perfect time at the 30-kill mark of the game.
Can I just say, Tim, that some people might have expected World 2 to check Formal, but nobody expected World 2 to check himself, to be honest. What's going on here? This is anticlimactic.
It's chaotic. But I gotta mention something, Alex. This is very important to look at. Look at the top left of your screen right now. It is 33-30. It looks like they did lose a player on the Sentinel side. But I want to point out there was 2 players I didn't get to see who it was. TriPPPeY and someone else only had 2 and 3 kills, I believe it was. And Optic were still able to keep that game that close. Like that is kind of scary, because if those 2 players start to pop off like we know they can, then it's going to be an interesting one. But we'll get back into the game and let you guys know what we're fighting for as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're fighting for a lot, apparently more than 25, more than 25K. 25K is a lot to begin with, but of course, this sets the precedent going into Orlando, and these teams, they're both so hungry than ever. I think especially with Optic having not won a LAN yet, they want this, and I think this does give them some potential, going into it. What a game of Slayer that was. I guess we had an unfortunate disconnect, ladies and gentlemen. It was very close. It was just about dead even. Pretty, was it World 2 that disconnected? I hope it was him, honestly. because that was unfortunate, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just replayed that one and did it again, Tim. That was close.
Yeah, the crazy part is that 30 kill mark, right? I mean, it was it's the point of the game where things really start to turn, and things are really the wheels start to turn in terms of both teams. But such a close game. But like I said, I believe it was TriPPPeY and APG maybe. TriPPPeY and Formal. They both had 3 kills in that game. And Optic was still in that. Look at the scoreline right now. They were leading by 4. I think that was a little bit later than when whoever disconnected. But regardless, I mean, that's a big thing to think about. Is like, if TriPPPeY has the game, we know he can. If Formal starts to pop off, we've got a very different game on our hands.
Right, you had mentioned Lucid had the bulk of the kills, right? At one point he had 10 kills and like 2 deaths. APG definitely did it. So to see him have the most damage in the lobby just goes to show how much work he was really doing behind the scenes. And we saw a lot of that, I think, in the B Stronghold right after the Royal 2 play. He was, putting it together, holding his own. No doubt Optic can recreate that again. It's, obviously it's a blow to have an unexpected circumstance like this, Tim, but our competitors, they're used to unpredictable events in Halo, I think. I don't expect them to break focus, to break that flow state, but it will be a question of who can bounce back stronger coming into this. Now that we have a reset of the opening strat, will there be, new reads that weren't in play previously, right? We could have a very different game here.
Yeah, so I always talk about the mental, and I talk about, things like this kind of throwing people, like we said, out of flow state and stuff like that. But when it comes to these two teams, I don't think that's a factor at all. I think the latter of what you said is the factor. The fact that these teams have seen this, potentially the starting strats or things that, people tend to do, like some nuances that players tend to have. And, they can take that information, kind of download it, like we say in the fighting game community, and utilize that to potentially, give themselves an advantage in this game. But regardless, a very, very close game. And, Sentinels is putting up a big fight, and it's great to see. It's great to see, like, how well players are playing, and, I want to see more of it. I want to see the TriPPPeys of the world and the Formals of the world starting to pop off and make things interesting.
I did, by the way, Tim, just hear an update from the producer. We will be replaying that with a 1-point advantage. 1-point advantage for Optic.
Okay.
Apparently. And I mean, at this level of competition, every tiny advantage you have, it matters. So if Optic, they had that advantage, they deserve that. So they're going to go for 49. For this game, but in the grand scheme of things, obviously not a big deal. I think a bigger deal would be coming out on top of that opening strat, bringing the team, having the advantage in numbers and playing off of that, keeping them suffocated. Sentinels tried to do that early on. Lucid was the reason that they couldn't, Tim, if you remember. Sentinels won the opening strat, but what Lucid gained was the Stalker. He slipped out. Despite being in a pinch, he went massive. As long as you see big individual plays from players on Optic, they can always kind of find that way to like weasel back in and shift the tides. Sentinels need to find a way to shut that down if they want to stay in the winner's bracket. Otherwise, they're out of here. They're going back to elimination or to elimination.
Yeah, that's what I kind of talked about before this year or before this game happened. Is like Lucid, the sandbox master. Like that's what we call him. Like the guy just can utilize all weapons in the sandbox at a very high level, and that Stalker was pure proof of that. When he had that in his hands, it really started to turn the tide of the game. That Stalker is so very powerful. 2 shots into that, and just a cleanup of a headshot is it. Like you can put 2 shots into everybody, and have your team clean up. Like the Stalker is so very powerful. So we'll see if that's utilized in the hands of Sentinels this time and taken out of the hands of Lucid. But we gotta also talk about that Bulldog, which also makes an incredible impact. We saw many plays with that as well.
Yeah, the Bulldog's going to come into play. No doubt, it's going to be the source of a ton of playmaking, Tim. Either way, I'm just happy to be here, Tim. I'm happy to see this high-stakes Halo. We're finally getting back into this. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly 7K you in the chat coming out for our eUnited Grunt Classic. This might be the final match of this best-of-7 series. If Optic shuts them down or if Sentinels can turn it around, we got a little more.
7K, that's a lot of people. Hi, guys.
That's a lot of people.
Hi, Mom. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, already starting off the game is going to be Optic there. They're starting off 2-1 against Sentinels. So, potentially, utilizing that starting strat once again. And look at the Rockets in the hands of Optic Gaming once again. And they use it to take out Frosty. 2 go down for Sentinels. And World 2 all by his lonesome is going to get taken out as well.
Scary situation. This time, Optic not only win opening strat, they get the momentum to start things out here. Awareness on spawners. TriPPPeY already spotting the rotation. He's tagging it out to the team. How did the team counter? Formal, in position, right-hand side. He's got that commando side angle. APG has a shotgun. They can play off of each other and use their resources to keep the lead in their favor.
He's gonna find 2 weak players,
Oh,
but oh my
no.
goodness! The
Woo.
dance! Did LethuL take dancing lessons? Like, that was insane! My word, the Bulldog is gonna fall in the hands of Sentinels now. Formal trying
No
to
way.
stay alive here, but...
Oh.
Oh, wow. And SnakeBite gets the kill onto him. That's incredible right there. That was just a showcase of a strafe that just threw someone off. That's nuts.
I mean, it happens on both sides. Seeing that gameplay out of Sentinels is one thing, and then seeing Formal stay alive as long as he did. He forced LethuL to commit to losing high ground to get the kill, and he died because of it. TriPPPeY going to come out with a massive kill on the Frosty, by the way. Skill jump into Shoddy. Love to see it. Looking for more. SnakeBite. Nothing he can do about this. LethuL down as well. LethuL next victim. A perfect 3-shot out of TriPPPeY. He's popping off.
TriPPPeY 6-1 to start this game. I called him out. I believe it was TriPPPeY, right? TriPPPeY and Formal. And that's exactly what Optic Gaming needed. Look at the lead they have when TriPPPeY's playing the way he normally does. 17-8. Optic looking to end this right now, and Formal's got another set of rockets.
I mean, who needs a 1-kill advantage when you're playing like this? All right, Tim. Formal just not missing. SnakeBite out of the picture. Gonna stay alive with the shields that he has. Got the info on where LethuL is. Already pulling off the opening shots here. APG with another. This is rough for Sentinels, Tim.
Formal's got to try and stay alive here, but that was a really big pick by LethuL because that's going to make 2 dead for Optic Gaming. Now Sentinels trying to search for the last players remaining. That's going to be TriPPPeY and Lucid, who both also go down. So now, you talked about it before, a little bit of a staggered spawn for these guys.
Best thing Sentinels can do is force trades in this situation. Slow it down by staggering the numbers of Optic and forcing them to reconsider their game plan and give you some breathing room on the map to turn the tides here before they get out of hand. Frosty got good positioning for that. The entirety of Optic apparently in the red room. Multiple dying here. Lucid in trouble now. He's getting pinched by Sentinels. What was a massive deficit? Not quite looking like it anymore. Frosty with a thankful kill from APG to slow it down, but Sentinels are not done.
That's what you see from Sentinels all the time. You can just never count this team out. 25-18. Optic Gaming still have a very strong lead, but it's being dwindled here. The best commando player in the world. I'm going to say it. This guy is nuts with this weapon.
I mean, you give him any weapon, and he's nuts. I got to say, Tim. He just doesn't miss. LethuL, SnakeBite going out huge here, too. 2 dead. TriPPPeY now by his lonesome. Back A. Not too much he can do except delay. Hopefully pull a trade out of this, and he doesn't even do that. All of a sudden, the scoreline down to a halt here.
Wow.
26 with that 1-kill advantage to 24 at this point. But Spawners and Seaside and Optic get options.
Sentinels take the lead by 1. LethuL with the Bulldog in hand. This is what you got to see. They're staggering the spawns. It's happening so very often. Sentinels is getting 2 dead for Optic. They're flipping the spawns on the other side and converting on those 2 as well, and they just keep setting them up. But Optic finally have a little bit of a stabilization going here on the A side of the map.
And a great trade for Sentinels, right? They give up map positioning for the Rockets. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better trade here. They can use that to their advantage. Just need info to do it. Frosty knows the push is coming in from alley side. SnakeBite going up mid. Risky spot to be. Doesn't have cover if he's in trouble, but he can definitely open things up with a bang. Looks like LethuL is looking to move up through attic, or arcade, sorry. SnakeBite's got to be the one to open this up. That's a... Oh, it didn't work.
Wow.
Lucid's dead, though. And that's the opening they need to get aggressive. Maybe.
Frosty's dead as well, though. They've got trades, and now SnakeBite for 5 seconds is out of the fight. He doesn't have to worry, though. I like the slow play from him right here. Just waiting to get his shields back. He knows there's still a player back here. This is the information I'm talking about. The game sense out of SnakeBite. He gets 1, but another trade comes through. But Sentinels still have the lead by 2. They were down by 10 kills in this game, Alex, and now they're leading by 2.
You honestly don't understand how massive it is from Formal to not move in PD that whole time, right? Despite having, SnakeBite whiff the first rocket, he just stayed there. He just milked. He forced SnakeBite to come out and kill him finally, and then gave Optic an easy opportunity to clean him up and keep the numbers even, keep the high ground in their favor. LethuL going to try to make that uphill battle. Now, he's got multiple targets, though, and look at that, 2 dead in the feed. Frosty getting aggressive.
Wow.
Oh,
all 4 dead for Optic Gaming, a 5-kill lead for Sentinels, and power weapons in the hands of LethuL. All of that spells trouble for this Optic Gaming roster, who looks so very confident in the beginning start of the game.
Right.
It's just a completely different story here. Sentinels starting to get just catch up here and go on fire to end this. They want to end it now.
It was, 22-9 at one point for Optic? Yeah. Not only are they losing at this point, they're losing the Rockets, I think, in the process here. Frosty with shotgun. Stalker back pocket. Making the flank. Formal, is he ready for it? Does anticipate it. Not going to have the resources to stop him. Frosty, he's in trouble. Bobbing and weaving to stay alive. There's the rockets. APG somehow has them. And he's got an opportunity to stabilize things. A double for APG.
A beautiful double at that. That's going to cut the lead a little bit, and that's exactly what they need because guess what? They're rewarded by Santa Claus with these beautiful power weapons that APG is juggling. They've got control of those, and that could be the turning point that Optic Gaming need in order to bring this game back.
I'm walking up.
Yeah.
About to go market with you,
I
man.
know where you're now.
Purple.
Dead.
I got one shot Bulldog. One shot on Bulldog.
Hear that.
It's either back soda, one shot. Back PD also weak. Back PD and back
Still
soda
back nest,
weak.
guys. Back nest, back nest.
soda.
Back PD, one shot, roll 2. One shot PD, roll 2, absolute. And PD, absolute, roll 2.
Back nest.
Back nest, one shot as well. And PD, one shot, roll 2.
PD.
Absolute. Still one shot, still one shot.
We're
Watching left. I'm watching left, Joey. I'm watching left.
Nice,
Nice.
watch
Mid
fire.
somewhere. Mid somewhere.
Hear that. They like doubling purple. They
Down
like
by one,
doubling
guys.
purple, bro.
We're down by one.
They
No,
like
this is
doubling
high
purple.
game. This is high
They are
game right now.
market. They are market.
They like doubling purple, bro.
Hear that.
Yo, we should go
Listen,
market side, bro.
Use
If
our
I have a
numbers.
stalker-
Don't be afraid to use our numbers.
If I get people weak over here, can we please charge market together?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait.
Yo, listen. Get
They
our
might
shields.
push here. They might push off. Be
Listen,
careful.
They're pushing us. Caution. What?
Push,
Caution.
push,
Caution.
dude.
Right below you guys. Literally right below you guys.
Absolute main ramp.
Literally right below you guys.
Jen.
Yeah, you're on your own. You can run
Come
that.
in.
Jen got me. Jen. On top of Jen still with a shotty going tires.
Rockets turn 15. We gotta get these rockets.
He's a shotgun. I might be sitting on Jen.
Sorry, Jen still.
Build up, Brad, build up. Keep your shields,
One shot,
keep your
one shot,
shields.
Jen.
Yo, Brad, be ready to use these stickies. Don't
Stalker
throw
in
them.
3.
Don't throw them.
Stalker's coming up.
Go down two
Stalker.
cuts, Matt. Brad.
Super purple.
Stay alive, Joey.
Hear that. Yo, be ready to fight
Main
mid.
up as well.
Be ready to fight mid, Brad. Be
Blue
ready to
Gen
fight
weak,
mid.
Snake
Bulldog, I can't.
Bulldog weak, lethal. I'm getting
I'm ready to
shot.
get him.
I got rocks.
Market.
Bulldog weak, Frosty. Bulldog weak, Frosty. Good Bulldog. And one Blue Gen weak, roll 2. Kind of weak.
Market, rail on me.
I am
Another guy
pushing
on you
guys.
somewhere,
I have
Tommy.
rockets.
Another guy on
I'm
you.
pushing.
Green gen.
Absolute
He's
threat.
down here.
Tommy,
One more. I got one.
3. That was 3. They're spawning where? PD
Tires
maybe?
real. Spawning red.
Okay.
Okay, listen,
clear
we're only
PD,
down
clear
by
PD,
one
clear
right
PD,
now.
clear
We're
PD,
only
clear
down by one.
Okay, that's fine.
I want us to be ready to force out.
With one purple. I think there's 2 purple.
Fight this guy red.
You
Kill this guy
guys
red.
fight
Kill
this,
this guy
you
red.
guys
Kill this
fight
guy
this.
red.
Driveway.
He is trapped.
Trying to get an angle from Bulldog. On cafe right now.
Trapped red, guys.
Cafe.
Trapped red.
Snakebite 4B from cafe.
He ran.
Okay.
Just
I'm gonna push
we're
out.
all
Hiding
market
commando.
now.
Hiding commando on me.
Back in now. Alright,
Top
stop
shields.
I spawned here with you guys.
Got him.
Nice.
Brad's pushing into sub.
Rail on me. Market on me, guys.
I'm coming up you.
You're on your own, Joey.
Market, one shot. Another one market. Weak. Market weak, Frosty. Market weak, Frosty. Red alley, Frosty.
Meet up with him. He's one.
Red alley, Frosty.
Nice,
Nice.
guys.
I'm pushing. Last guy, I'm pushing.
Hold up.
We need 1 kill. We need 1 kill.
Slow down.
We need 1 kill.
Yo, Tommy, take this.
We need two. We need two kills.
Tommy.
I'm making them cafe, guys. They're gonna go to the purple shit again. And they're gonna shoot from
I'm
main up
watching
as well, I
market.
think.
Yo, I'm hiding benches.
I see you.
Listen, I want us to be ready to fight mid.
Yeah, one's blue gen.
Where?
One's blue gen.
2 blue gen.
Where?
2 blue
Listen,
gen.
how many guys
Wait,
are
one
right
shot
side?
blue gen. Frosty.
Yo,
There's
listen,
3 guys
how many?
blue gen.
They're nading me, Matt. They're nading me.
Okay, I'm one shot, Tommy. I cannot peek.
I'm about to get pushed, guys. I think I'm about to get pushed purple. Dude, they're just
Square,
nading
coming
me.
mid.
ATM.
We're all in the back.
ATM weak, ATM really weak main up. We can kill a
Oh,
guy.
he's still there.
Yo, listen, we should maybe hit the right side.
We're gonna live. They're gonna be market on us.
Yes.
Yeah, watch
Okay,
They're
market.
still main ramp. They are still main ramp.
And I'm lethal. He sees me crossing.
Yo, hit right.
Watch corners. Check corners. Make sure
Yo,
you're
they're pushing sub. They're
Yeah,
cuts one shot. I got one shot front sub. And behind me, commando.
Never side trash.
Push
Just live.
Push through, guys.
Catch it. Come back. Roll 2. Come back.
We
Roll
need
2.
one. It's tie game.
One guy trap purple. Top Ivy. I'm
Watch out,
about to
Ivy.
Guys, we can push back soda.
Get back soda control.
Listen, we just gotta kill a
We actually have
spawner.
a
We need to make sure that no
one
spawner
Here
kills
with you,
us.
Ben. Here with that.
5 guys. Rockets at 5.
Bait the rockets. Bait the rockets.
Get
Hiding
shield. Oh, cafe.
Look at red.
I'm watching and looking.
Purple.
Oh, there's gonna be multiple, baby.
You guys
they're
here.
gonna spike you.
Frosty. Really big benches.
Make sure they
Kill
can't
that
see
guy, kill
rockets.
that guy.
Probably
They're
get rockets.
not watching rockets.
Got one.
Nice,
That's
good
it.
shit,
That's
good
it.
That's game.
Good shit, guys. Good fucking
Nice shit, boys. Let's fucking go.
job,
Oh
man.
my god, good shit.
God damn, I couldn't keep this.
Oh my word, Optic
I've
Gaming closed it out. They only needed 49, and they get the 49th kill. We thought that they were not going to close out that game. And they do. They close out the game, and they also close out the series as well. Optic Gaming, beautiful job. They're going to move on to the grand finals.
What a finish that was, Tim. My heart. I could not stand it. Down to the wire. Lucid had to close it with a perfect kill with the commando to lock it up. But you got to love the comms in that moment. I mean, the formal comms coming in. The dude sounds like an auctioneer. He's so quick with it. They're so locked in. They're so, well coordinated. You got a lunchbox over top of it all. You can hear his voice as the coach to kind of dictate the action as they tried to hit the right side of B to stay together to just give Sentinels no opportunity. Sentinels an excellent job to counter it, though, to try to out-rotate and stay alive. I mean, just beautiful Halo played on both sides. Tim, I'm floored by the finish of that. And, of course, we got a highlight reel to just showcase what we've been through. It's been a hell of a series.
Oh, it has been a hell of a series. The Elgato replay going to show us all the big plays from the series itself, and so many plays add up to the victory from Optic Gaming. Sentinels look so very strong, but unable to take out the green wall, and what a confidence booster this will be for them. But Sentinels, they're not done just yet. They're going to be able to go to the losers bracket, and of course, we also have another day here for the eUnited Grunt Classic, and we're going to be able to witness that tomorrow. This, I believe, was our last match of the day, Shyway. This has been an incredible day. I've seen some incredible Halo today. I didn't think Halo was going to evolve even more and more throughout the year, like the months ahead of us, but the gameplay is just getting better and better. These players are changing the meta, and they're just getting individually more skilled, and it's just incredible to see.
Keeps Halo alive right now, Tim.
Absolutely.
I think this the Halo esports we've been witnessing for sure. Very exciting, massive plays out of Optic to stay on winner's side. They're in the best possible position to win this whole thing. Of course, eUnited Grunt Classic, it's an all-weekend gig. We're coming back tomorrow with the biggest matches of the tournament, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And I'm curious to know who's still in this, Tim. Of course, Sentinels, they dropped down to elimination, but we've got a couple other teams still fighting for their tournament life. I believe it's Cloud9 and FaZe.
Yeah, I believe in the lower bracket we got Cloud9 and FaZe playing tomorrow, and then obviously we're gonna have Sentinels face off the loser of that one, the winner of that one, and that's gonna be interesting to see as well. But you know who I want to get? The man that talks so much. He gives me a headache, guys. He's my duo, and he gives me the biggest headache ever because he just never stops talking. But we gotta hear him one more time. It's gonna be Tony. Hey, Tony, how you doing, dude? How did you enjoy that series?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I was watching from start to finish. I went into the kitchen to cook a little bit. I couldn't get anything done because I couldn't take my eyes off of my phone screen. Optic Gaming sending Sentinels down to the elimination bracket, and we only have 4 remaining. That's FaZe, Cloud9, Sentinels, and Optic waiting in the grand finals. Alex, how did you feel about this tournament so far?